everybody, welcome back to Taji's World of Books and welcome back to another book recommendation video. Hey everybody, welcome back, and this is going to be part 2 of my deep dive into Cora Reilly. This is going to be for the spin-off series, the Camorra Chronicles of the Born by Blood series. So it's a spin-off from Born by Blood, which is the Camorra Chronicles. And this is book 1, Twisted Loyalties. And this book, I gotta tell you, I'm really, this is really setting the bar for Mafia romances. So Twisted Loyalties are Fabiano and Leona's story. And I love it because you really have a carryover of characters that are from the Born by Blood Chronicles that we're seeing now in the Las Vegas syndicate, the Camorra family. And so Fabiano is originally from the Chicago outfit, and he has gone rogue, if you will, and is now a part of the Camorra family. And you get to find out why and how he's become a part of the Camorra family. And I love it because this book is really about two broken heroes. Fabiano was abused by his no-good father, who was the consigliere of Dante Caviello, I think his name is. So he's basically like the advisor to Dante, who is the head, the capo of the Chicago outfit. And he was an abusive father, and so his sisters have left him. His sisters have married into the New York familia. And so Fabiano was really left to be on his own. And he was abused by his father, and he's really broken out and become his own individual. And this is the story. Leona was also abused by her parents because her parents have substance abuse issues. And they basically come to find one another. So these are two broken characters that come together. This is about a found family in each other and a found family in the Camorra family. This is about drug addiction. It's about loyalty. It's about love. It's about respect. It's about honesty. It's about sacrifice. It's a really, really good story. Although I did not give it a 5 out of 5, I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. I think maybe because I had just come off the Bound by Blood, and those are just so powerful and so amazing that this hit the spot, but it didn't quite hit that crescendo. But equally good nonetheless. So I gave this a 4 out of 5 star, Fabiano. And of course you get to hear about the crazy Falcone brothers. And so, you know, so basically in the Twisted series, every book is twisted because there's this whole Camorra faction, they're all twisted in some way. So this is Twisted Loyalties. Where do your loyalties really lie? And then you see the Falcone brothers, Nino and Remo. How can I forget Remo Falcone? Are the brothers, and then the third portion, well, there's younger brothers as well that we'll talk about later, but the next third person that's up in the family is the Enforcer, and the Enforcer is Fabiano. Okay, then we're gonna go into the second book, and that is Twisted Emotions, and Twisted Emotions is Nino and Chiara's story, and Nino is the second brother. He's Reno. Reno's the oldest. Nino is the second. He's the second brother in the Camorra outfit, and they try to develop an alliance between him and the Falcone brothers, or the Camorra outfit, and the Chicago outfit. And so Chiara is part of the Chicago outfit. I'm sorry, I'm telling a lie. Chiara is a part of the Familia, the New York outfit, and so they forge an alliance through marriage with Chiara, and I love this story so much. There are trigger warnings in this particular book. This book made me cry. It was emotional. It was powerful. There is abuse. This is about broken heroes. This is the story of survival. This is a story of trust and respect. It's finding love after being broken. It's finding emotions. It's finding who you are and what's important to you and what means the most, and what you're willing to do to protect. And there's a lot of assumptions about who the Falcone brothers are, and Chiara is terrified going into this situation. And is everything as she thinks that it is? No, it's not. And this story is a 5 out of 5 star for me for sure. You know, if you like twisted, dark characters, but that are, I'm dark and I'm deadly for everybody but you. for you, I will be a soft teddy bear and I'll be everything that you want, even though I say I have no emotions and I can't ever be that for you. Do I become that? Yes, you do. So this is a 5 out of 5 star for me. Let me say this. So as you're reading the Born by Blood book, I'm going to say this. In Bound by the Past, this book, I feel like, man, where do you read this? Because this book has spoilers in it for what's to come in the Camorra Chronicles. So there are, and especially in the next book that I'm reading right now, which is Twisted Pride, this has a lot of spoilers. So just be careful when you read this particular book, Bound by the Past. This is about the Chicago outfit and Dante. There are spoilers in here. So my recommendation for you, I think I would have a better reading experience in Twisted Pride if I would have read the Camorra Chronicles in publication order. Don't read all the Bound by Blood and then read the Camorra Chronicles. Read the Camorra Chronicles as she published them. So fold them in with the Bound by Blood series. I think you're gonna have a better reading experience because, like I said, there are spoilers in here for what's happening at the end of this book and the beginning and Twisted Pride and everything that happens in Twisted Pride. You get it in here, and so it's kind of like, oh, ho hum, but not bad because you don't hear the backstory, but just as a little something extra to be thinking about. Okay, so that is all my thoughts about the Twisted series. Let's go to the final 3 books in the series and hear what I thought about those. Hi, okay, so to continue on with my review of the Cora Reilly's The Camorra Chronicles, I went ahead and read Twisted Pride. So for Twisted Pride, let me say, I've already mentioned, do not read Bound by the Past first. Read this first, because Bound by the Past is going to spoil the first 3 books of the Camorra Chronicles, which I've gone through. Twisted Loyalties, Twisted Emotion, and Twisted Pride. Okay, having said that, that's what I did. I read Bound by the Past because I read all the Bound by first, as you guys know, and so it spoiled it for me. But even having said that, this book was really good, but it would have been so much better. This would have been an absolute 5 out of 5 star for me if I would have read Bound by the Past afterwards. Having said that, I still gave it a 4 out of 4 star because I didn't know the intricate details of what happened. So this is Remo and Serafina's story. It is a captor-captive situation. We know that Remo is a monster, and we know that Remo Falcone is going to do whatever he wants to do, and he's going to send a message, and it's going to be bloody, and it's going to be deadly, and it's going to be sick and twisted and just everything. And this is no exception. So Remo does some stuff. You know, you get to see all your other characters that are in here. You know, you get to hear from Nino, from Chiara. We know Chiara from the previous book. She's got a trauma history, so Chiara is like horrified at what's going on. We hear from Fabiano and Leona because they're all involved in this. You hear Nino. Everybody's trying to get Remo to stop the madness and stop what he's doing. So, you know, having said that this is a captor-captive situation, there's lots of trauma, there's lots of trigger warnings. Remo uses psychological warfare. His game is always about psychological warfare, so it's more about getting and coercing somebody to do what you want and having the damage that they willingly went along with what you wanted, and having their family know that you willingly went along with what he wanted, as opposed to violently taking what he wanted. So this book is really, really good in terms of a captor-captive situation. There are no real trigger warnings in this book, but you know, having said that he's taken her against his will, you know, it's really traumatizing. Now, what's nice about Bound by the Past is Bound by the Past allows you to see what's going on Dante Cavallero's side and in Chicago, their Chicago outfit. Like, you get to see what's going on the outfit side and her family side, and Twisted Pride allows you to see what's going on with the Camorra side of it in Las Vegas and the reality and how those two different truths collide and clash. And so it's really, really good. It's about revenge. It's, you see what happens to Fabiano as a result of, because every choice has consequences. And so when you engage in a behavior, you have to know that there's going to be a fallout in the wake of what you've decided to do. And so we see that in this book, but it's really, really good. Okay, so then the next book in the series is Twisted Bonds, and Twisted Bonds is it's now we get to see Kiara's perspective of what's going on here, because we see that Kiara is horrified and Kiara is like, what is going on? You know my trauma past, what are you doing? But here we get to see the conversations that Nino is having with Kiara. You get to hear what Fabiano is saying. We see, some more things with Serafina and Remo. We see stuff that's going on with Fabiano and Leona. We see Saviano, we hear Adamo's perspective, so it's a lot of the backstory. We get to see Kiara and Nino and Kiara's story develop and their family develop and what that means. And it's wrap-ups, it's family, it's healing, it's recovery, it's next step. It's like the development of the Camorra sort of family and what happens and the bonds that they develop, and hence why it's called Twisted Bonds, because they're still twisted nonetheless, but they could be twisted all they want to be, but they're still a family and they're still a unit and they're still going to work together to accomplish the goals of the Camorra, which is to run their family the way that they see fit. So this is a 5 out of 5 star for me. It was a really great, fun ride. Okay, so then the next book in the series is Twisted Hearts, and Twisted Hearts is Fabiano and Gemma's story, and we have seen Gemma Fabiano. This is Savio's story, and I've been calling him Fabiano. I'm so sorry. Just correct me. It's Saviano's story. And Gemma has been in love with him from the moment that she met him, from the time that she was like a 10-year-old girl. And so basically it is their story, but it's an arranged marriage, but it's also about, Savi has to grow up. He has to stop riding on the coattails of his brother and become the man that he was intended to be. So there's some groveling that happens. If you like groveling, it happens in here. In the first half of the book, you're like, Saviano, you're an asshole. You're a jerk. I can't believe that you're treating her like this. But in the second half of the book, you're like, go Gemma. There's groveling because she makes him make up for the poor, bad behavior that he has displayed in the first half of everything that he's done. And just to see them develop and commit and make amends, and him, figuring out what's important and what he really wants out of life, and who he's actually going to get it from. Is he going to get it with all the chicks that he's been hooking up with, or is he going to get it from Gemma? And is she going to allow that? So again, this is a really good story. This is 4 out of 5 star for me. And then the final book in the story is Twisted Cravings. Now, this one has trigger warnings, so please check out the trigger warnings, because there are some parts of it that if you have an abusive background, it's going to be really tough for you to read. And so she gives you a heads up right here that there are trigger warnings, so just check this out. And let me also say that all of these books are on audiobook. You know that I am an avid audiobook reader, but it's really weird when you get the last couple of books, like when you see them on Amazon makes it look like there is no audiobooks, but there are. You can find them all on AnyPlay. And this last one is not on AnyPlay. I only found this one on Scribd. So if you're interested in listening to the audiobook version of this, I found it on Scribd. You cannot get it on Audible. Don't know why, but it is on Scribd. Okay, so this is about revenge. This is about you know, this is Adamo's story, and it's Adamo with Dariana, and Dariana is part of the Russian faction, so there's a long history behind. So there's secrets, they're divulging what's happened in the past. Remo, obviously, and Nino are bone carriers in the sense that they have all the secrets, and Adamo is pissed because he wants to know what's going on. He's handling the racing aspect of things. Dariana comes up and clearly has a past with Remo, so we're trying to figure out what that all is. Once it's discovered, then there's, you know, lots of, you know, revenge and plotting and dynamics that are happening, but it's all about their twisted cravings for, they both have the same type of penchant for substance abuse and for drugs and for trying to escape and not facing their past, but they are forced to face their past. So ultimately, this is a very good book. I feel like it's a 4 out of 5 star. I'm really happy that I read it. Let me say this, in all, when you think about the Bound by Blood series and you think about the Camorra Chronicles, for me personally, and I know other people feel differently about this, I absolutely love the Bound by Blood. Those were all a 5 out of 5 star for me. The Twisted, the Camorra Chronicles, and the Camorra Guys, the first couple of books were 5 star, 4.75, but for me, I like the Camorra Chronicles, but not as much as I like the Bound by Blood. But all in all, the entire series, Cora Reilly really set the bar for Mafia romances and set it really high, because she gives you, and then not only is it Mafia romances, but it's like enemies to lovers, it's arranged marriages, it's virgin brides, it's groveling, it's forgiveness, it's hate to love, you know, it's second chances, it's forgiveness, it's all of the tropes that are like sort of wrapped up. There's age gap, you know, this last book, the book Twisted Hearts, this is definitely an age gap. So you've got a lot of different tropes that are wrapped up in all of these different books. All in all, I'm going to say it was a wild ride. I'm so happy that I did it. If you haven't done it, do it. You will not be disappointed. Every book has something different, and you know, so I think that you're going to find something in it that you're going to like, you know, with these alpha heroes and these guys that are, who want to protect their women, and they're women that are like, you know, finding their arc and finding their voice and discovering who they are and fighting back and pushing back, so there's lots of angst. So all in all, I say it's a good ride. Definitely do it. That is all that I have to say for today. You guys know that I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please like and subscribe so you can come and hang out with me more. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys.